What is going on, everyone? Hello and welcome back here into another edition of Next Gen Jets. Appreciate you all tuning in here on this Saturday evening, May 3rd, 2025. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, completely free. Helps us grow significantly here on the show. Super Chats memberships also go a long way. Every $2.99 Super Chat or gifted membership will get you a raffle entry. Prize we're giving away include a Sauce Gardner signed jersey, Kevin Mawai signed mini helmet, Aaron Glenn signed trading card, Jonathan Vilma signed photo, Bart Scott signed photo, free item from our merch store, channel emoji. Getting on that, please, for May. $2.99 Super Chat. Every $2.99 Super Chat or gifted membership gets you an entry. More entries you have, higher chance you have of taking home a prize. Throw all your questions for us in the chat. You can call into the show with the pinned comment. Christopher Thomas Grasso, how are you doing on this Saturday evening?
Connor Robert Long, I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I see Jimmy Jets gifting 20 to start us
Oh
off.
yeah, I just saw that too. Jimmy with
go.
the 20. And Jimmy, let me let you know, I have your info, so I'm gonna send this out tomorrow. But again, we gotta hit something for these 20 memberships. Jimmy, you're the GOAT.
Jimmy, is that my haircut money?
You just
I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
You play to win the game.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Can't wait.
You get everything, Jimmy, because Jimmy, you are the GOAT. We appreciate all of your support here on the program. As always, you won a prize, and I'm going to try to pull that up. You definitely won a prize. I will get that prize out to you right away when I find the screenshot on my phone of all the raffle winners. But nevertheless, Jimmy, 20 gifted memberships. Thank you so much for all of your support on the show. That is 20 raffle entries for you to start off the month of May. Cheeseman, Jersey Gene, Mark Muones, Michael Palmero, Sharp Instinct, Stevie, Dick Chimneys Burner, South Philly, Adrian Roston, Peter, New York Jet Smoking Lounge, The Power, Ryan Tansek, York Pinnock, V6RM, Big Homie, Sir Lucas, Stephen Rice, Petros, Dracopoulos, John Bayo. You are all members. Shout out to the one, the only Jimmy Jets. 20 raffle entries to start off May. Now Jimmy Jets jumps to the lead by default right away with 20 raffle entries to start off the month of May. Every $2.99 Super Chat, guys, or gifted membership gets you a raffle entry and a chance to win a Sauce Gardner signed jersey, a Kevin Mawai signed mini helmet, an Aaron Glenn signed trading card, a Jonathan Vilma signed photo, Bart Scott signed photo, a free item from our merch store, and a channel emoji. So please, 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 everyone, get in on that membership raffle. That's the pay way to support. Smashing the like button and hitting subscribe also helps us grow just as much. Guess we had to wait for Chris to not fix his hair.
That's exactly why I was wondering if the 20 memberships was for my haircut money. Jack, could you explain that comment? Jack, explain.
Yes, Skibbity Toilet Translator, please. And yeah, Jimmy, you can provide some clarification in the chat regarding which portion of that membership money will be distributed to Chris's Barber, also known as his mom. So
all right.
We'll work that out in the chat, Jimmy. Thank you so much for the 20 memberships. Chris, first episode since we've kind of had time to debrief the draft. We were on last Saturday, obviously, but that was only a few hours after the draft is ended. Now we've kind of gotten a good idea of what this class is going to look like. You and I both, along with the rest of the Jets fan base, we've kind of formulated our strong opinions. I mean, a lot of people are super high on this draft class, and then a lot of people are kind of lower. There hasn't been much middle ground. So we've all been able to kind of formulate an opinion, but now let's kind of get into some of the biggest takeaways and something ESPN's Rich Cimini referenced on his podcast, a particular player who was viewed not only among the fans, but also in the locker room as a winner of this year's draft is undrafted free agent from last year, Leonard Taylor III. Let's hear from Cimini on why Leonard Taylor III, LT3, as he goes by, is a winner of this year's draft. And then Chris and I will give our analysis on Cimini's take. Let's take a listen.
Another winner, Leonard Taylor III. And you're thinking, why would I pick a bottom of the roster guy? Well, the Jets did not draft a defensive tackle. There were 30 drafted across the league. The Jets did not draft one, despite what I feel is a need there. They signed 3 low-cost free agents, none of whom really are that impressive on paper. So a guy like Leonard Taylor, who flashed a little bit last year as an undrafted rookie, really has a great opportunity to compete and perhaps win a starting job.
Now, Chris, Leonard Taylor III is someone who came in as a UDFA last year after he was expected to be drafted. I think the Jets talk about value steals, incredible value with LT3 last year in undrafted free agency. I mean, did he play like a starting caliber defensive tackle last year? No, but he certainly showed some flashes of which he could be developed to be maybe a starting caliber player at one point in his career. I'm not the most comfortable if he's going to be that one tech you plug in next to Quinnen Williams. I certainly think he could be a depth piece, though, and I get the logic behind this, the sense, well, Jets didn't draft a defensive tackle. He's on the younger side, was a UDFA last year. Understand the logic here. I just don't want him being relied on in a significant role.
Of course, one of the biggest questions of this entire draft class was why they didn't address D tackle. I feel like that was one of the biggest needs coming in, and they came away with 0 D tackles drafted. So that was something I was definitely unhappy with coming to the draft. But again, I've said this a lot of times. I think that just means that we have some D tackles, including Leonard Taylor, that they might be comfortable developing. They see something in him that they can turn into a starting tackle, and they didn't really need to use any picks on it. So I'm curious to see how our D tackle room unfolds this offseason and during training camp, because we have to have something, because we didn't draft any, and it's a pretty big need as of now. So I want to see what they do there and who ends up being that hole, who ends up filling that hole and how they play.
I think you can kind of get someone after cut down day in there. It's just like when they traded up for Malachi Moore, I think that trade up could have been maybe for a guy like Joshua Farmer from FSU, who was still sitting there on the board when the Jets were selecting, and boom, there you go. That's the big space eater, the big fatty we've been talking about for months on end now. You could put it next to Quinnen Williams. Instead, you trade up for a safety, which, yes, was a position of need. But, I mean, do you really think it was worth giving up assets to trade up for a safety? Personally, I don't think so. Like, I think if we were going to trade up, should have gone for the DT.
I get that, but when we think of players that this regime really wants, it's more like mental traits like toughness, leadership. So
Josh Farmer isn't that guy.
What?
Who says Josh Farmer isn't that guy?
This regime. So they obviously selected Malachi Moore. They see something in him, and you know we have to kind of trust them as of now, even if we kind of don't want to. So we have to trust that Glenn is the guy, and he's gonna be able to develop all these guys. We have to trust their judgment on not taking a DT, and trusting their judgment that they think this room is sufficient talent-wise for D tackle, and they think that they can develop some players. I don't personally see it right now. This D tackle room is very barren of talent in my eyes, outside of Quinnen, but they must see something, and they are confident. Glenn is confident in himself to develop, and Glenn is confident in himself in his scouting background to trade up 15 spots for a safety who in his eyes is probably gonna become a difference maker if he's going to trade up. And the trade up logic for that safety was, I heard this on draft day. I'm pretty sure you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what they were thinking is that the Raiders were going to take them. So they wanted to take Malachi Moore. So they wanted to jump the Raiders. I'm not sure about that one, but they were trying to jump someone because they thought someone was going to take Malachi Moore, and they thought he was really going to be a necessity for this defense. So I'm okay with the pick, but I'm questionable. I'm skeptical. That's the right word I was looking for about the D tackle room going into this season.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not be? A bunch of unproven guys. I mean, behind Leonard Taylor III, is there anyone who catches your eye as a potential difference maker for this team?
What?
Behind Leonard Taylor III, is there anyone else who catches your eye as a potential difference maker for this DT room?
No, which is why I think we needed to draft guys, and we didn't. They still have undrafted free agency, and they still have post-draft free agency to address it. But
undrafted free agency is pretty much over. Like, that lasts for about 30 minutes after.
Until everyone gets signed, yeah. But yeah. So there's no one I see, but there has to be someone that Glenn sees, because
no, I completely disagree.
Well, how? Because if they're not taking a D tackle, they must see qualities in all the guys that we have.
It doesn't mean they're good qualities. I mean, the Jets saw qualities in Javon Kinlaw, so they thought it was worthwhile to sign him to a lucrative 2-year deal with a void year. That didn't work out. Like, you have to.
I also think that this Glenn and Wilkes coming in, they're just renewing the defensive scheme. So maybe these guys didn't fit in the last scheme, and they do into this scheme. I don't know what the thought process behind the scenes is, but we're gonna have to trust Glenn. We're just gonna have to trust it. I know
why?
You're not. I know we're not comfortable with it yet, but
why?
They're gonna have to prove it to us. What do you mean why?
Why do we have to trust Glenn? What has he shown?
We can be skeptical, but at the end of the day,
You
like,
just
if
said we
he's a,
need to trust him.
what?
You just said we need to trust him.
We need to trust him if we want to have hope. But if you don't want to have hope and you want to drown in your own self pity, fine.
So just like being an optimist versus a realist.
Being a realist.
Is that what you're trying to say? I'm trying to do some
I'll-
translating here.
From the realist perspective, this is very questionable. But if we're gonna be a good team, Glenn is gonna fix that. So listen,
I don't-
we'll have
what
to
does
see
that
how.
mean?
We're just gonna have to see how it plays out. Is really the message I'm
Yeah,
trying
so
to.
perfect. So that's why he needs to show me he can win football games before I put faith in him.
Perfect. Let's see it.
I mean, he said all the right things, but you have to win games. I mean, Robert Sala did the same
Amen.
thing.
He better start winning games. That is a sentiment we both share.
Robert Sala did the same thing.
Robert Sala and AG. I mean, did Robert Sala put the media in their place like AG did? I don't know.
No, he befriended them.
Yeah, exactly. This is see. So you're saying it out loud and you're realizing yourself. Glenn is very different than Sala.
Let's see on the field.
Let's see.
Let's see on the field. Our guy David D, and guys, keep the questions coming. We'll get to those. Pin comment to call in. Our guy David D won 2 raffle prizes last night. David, so please, I'll get you the prizes here. Email me. I'll throw my email in the chat. You won 2 raffle prizes on last night's show. I don't know if you caught it. I didn't see you in the chat, but you won 2 raffle prizes. So please, DM me your or email me rather, your info, and I will get these prizes to you. David, our Lions fan here on the show, always supporting us. David, I believe you won the Klecko signed helmet and the CJ Mosley signed jersey. I might be mistaken. I'll check that out after the show, though. For sure, I have a whole screenshot on my phone with a list of the prizes of which every single person won. So we appreciate you guys as always. And our guy Luppy wants in on the fun for the May membership raffle. He comes in with 5 gifted memberships. 2 Chiefs fans get memberships. Chiefs fan and King Jamie the Mad start us off. TJ, Ricky, New York Live, Joshua Ra. You are all channel members thanks to our man Luppy, and that is 5 raffle entries to kick off May for our guy Luppy. Guys, every $2.99 super chat or gifted membership gets you a raffle entry. They really, really go a long way here on the show. Appreciate your support as always. Though, smashing the like, hit subscribe. Just as much. And if you want to engage with us, throw all your questions or all your takes in the chat. We'll get to those shortly. You can call into the show with the pin comment. Chris, I want to get back to some draft talk with you, and then we'll touch on the Travis stuff, because I know we haven't done a show since then, right? No.
Yeah, no, we didn't get a show to talk about our guy Jordan Travis from Florida State. So yeah, we got to address that sometime later in the show.
Let's get to my guy though, the new developmental quarterback. Let Brady cook. This is the new Jets developmental quarterback. I'm telling you right now, Chris, and you know how high I am on Cook. And same goes for Matt Miller of ESPN, friend of the show, was on with ESPN's Rich Cimini, and predicts he will, quote, probably be one of the most popular players on the team within just a few months. He is that dude that everyone loves. Don't you want that to be the quarterback of your football team, on top of his elite escapability, his ability to not turn the football over, his great athleticisms?
I mean, yes, this all sounds good, right? But how does he throw the football, really? That's all that really matters.
How does he throw the football? He was accurate. Like his accuracy wasn't as great last year.
How's his arm strength?
Brady Cook, his arm strength.
How far can he throw the ball?
What?
How far can he throw the ball?
He's more of a short to intermediate accuracy guy. He's not like Joe Milton, who fucking completes 50% of his passes and airs the ball 75 yards down the field. Like, he can hang. Listen to this, Chris. Let's go through his 3 starting seasons. 2022, 64.8% completion percentage. 2023, 66.1. 2024, 62.6. And yards per attempt wise, that can give you a yards per attempt are fine. 7.9 in 2024, 9.0 in 2023, and 7.2 in 2022.
Solid. He's solid. The thing is, I didn't see the need for them to draft a quarterback, because in my eyes,
Yes.
either
Unless it was Seth Hannigan in the 7th.
Oh, Seth. I see a series I recommend to everyone watching this is Gruden's QB class on Barstool. It just really goes in depth on how hard the quarterback position is and
Keep
all the
talking,
things you have
Chris.
to
I gotta pull something up on the screen.
got you and all the things you need to evaluate when looking at a quarterback. So like one of the most interesting guys in there was Seth Hannigan. You know, we saw his ability to process and all that other stuff, which is so important with quarterbacks. So that's one thing. But going back to what I was saying is I didn't really think it was important or like a need by any means at all for the Jets to draft a quarterback this year, because I feel like if Fields works out and he shows significant improvement processing and with accuracy, then you can kind of mold him into your guy, for your franchise guy, which I know that seems unlikely and people are overlooking that as an option, but I feel like it could happen. I feel like there's a chance. But if Fields doesn't work out or if Fields plays average and you don't feel comfortable, you just trade up and get your guy next year in a stacked class. Then when Fields' second year of his contract, when Fields and when this in 2026 is offseason going into the season, you have Fields and this high pick that you just traded up for compete, and whoever wins plays. And then after Fields' contract, say for example a guy like Nussmeier is ready to take the job and elevate your team to a Super Bowl contender, because at that point you should have been building and building. And if Glenn is a good coach, we'll get 8 or 9 wins this year, and we'll know. So I'm really excited for the future of this franchise. We can hit on a quarterback.
This is what I'll add about Brady Cook. Okay, does he have a high chance of being a franchise quarterback for the Jets? No, not at all.
No.
But he's a fun developmental guy. Like if he could give you some preseason juice, this is what I put in my article for Jets X Factor. If he could be a long-term backup, if he could be Tyrod Taylor,
that's a win.
If he could have the career of Tyrod Taylor, that's a steal.
And another thing is he's a rushing guy, especially with the departure, if you will, of Jordan Travis.
Yes, similar skill set of Fields. And speaking of Gruden's quarterback school and Seth Hannigan, I have to pull up this text that I received from Chris at 4:53 p.m. today. Chris, could we provide a live breakdown on this text and what inspired? What about Gruden's quarterback school and Seth Hannigan, someone I've been a longtime supporter of? What about Gruden's quarterback school was so great?
Just a series in general, or Seth Hannigan specifically?
Do both. Let's cover. All
right. So Gruden's quarterback class on a wide range for everybody was so great because it goes in depth on showing how much really goes into every throw that is made, how much goes into preparing week in and week out being a quarterback, how hard it is to memorize all the play calls. Like I was sitting on my couch and I was like, they were calling a play and it was like gibberish. You have to really like study, and it shows
not
how much
not Jackson Dart.
Oh, Jackson Dart just. And you saw a pissed Gruden guys like, are you fucking kidding me? so yeah, it shows really how much goes into an ideal quarterback prospect, and it's not just what you see arm strength wise. Like it's not just who can throw the ball the farthest, which is maybe a misconception I had before, just velocity and how far you can throw. So
highlight warrior.
All right, buddy. We don't have to go that far. I read in on my evaluations, but it shows how like placing the ball perfectly, accuracy, throwing with anticipation, all these things that are not visible to the naked eye that you actually have to go in and study, and I really look at to evaluate if the quarterback is really going to be good or not. So quarterback is like undoubtedly the hardest position to play in all sports, and this just proved it without a doubt. I recommend it for everybody. If you love football, you love that series, and Gruden is just a football guy. So really a football guy talking to quarterbacks, just picking their brain, if you will, and just seeing really what they have to offer it's so entertaining to watch, and it gives you into a level of like knowledge that they have. It's just crazy to think about.
Yeah. Would you say, did you finish the whole series?
I watched Will Howard. I watched Jackson Dart. I just finished Seth Hannigan, and I'm going to watch Leonard next.
Leonard's was solid. Will Howard's was the best.
I think he liked Will Howard the most. Like Will Howard was the one he was able to treat like the most intermediate player. Like he really.
Will Howard's also the oldest too,
and he played in like the most pro style Ohio State offense,
The
so
thing I like about Howard is not only he played in like 2 completely different styles of offense. Like Ohio State, they didn't need him to run. Like he could run. They didn't need him to though, because it was just hit a wide receiver in stride, pop, you're done. But at Kansas State, you saw him. He was running all over the place, and he was able to produce in that. Like he's just a multi-dimensional player, which is so pivotal.
There's no doubt in my mind that if say Rodgers goes to the Steelers and Howard learns behind him, like there's no doubt that Howard can turn into a fringe top 10 quarterback. That's not even his ceiling too. That's like what he really could be if he learns behind Rodgers. Because there's no doubt for me that he's a good quarterback. My point is that I know this is where you and me differ a little bit. There's no point. There's no point in taking him this year for us because either we have Fields or we have a 2026 top 5 pick. That's what's happening in my mind. So
if Howard fell to the 6th round, though, he could have been your Brady Cook.
Yeah, but
I think the Jets knew Travis was retiring.
You think they knew?
They had to have. They declined comment on him. Someone who retires less than a week after the draft, you don't go into the draft expecting them to play a pivotal role on your team.
So let's break down the quarterback room right now. Obviously, we have Fields, our QB1. We have Tyrod, who's a backup, but he gets hurt. So if Fields, God forbid, has a season-ending injury, Tyrod's going to be good for
or Brady Cook.
Yeah, Tyrod. Well, Tyrod's going to last like 7 games. Yeah, I think I predict you to be the immediate backup. Then Brady Cook can go in there. But you also have guys like
I'd rather have if it's a lost season, I'd rather have Brady Cook come in. Like if you start
well, obviously, yeah, because he's younger and you see what you have.
Like if the Jets start like 2-6, 2-8, and Fields is playing like he was in Chicago, and like you just need to move on, I would much rather see Cook come in and play the remaining 7 games than Tyrod.
I agree with that statement. 100%.
I would take I love Tyrod. He's one of my favorite players in the league. From what the model of this team is built on, like at that point, you're not trying to win games. You're trying to see what you have in the future.
In my eyes, right? If you were starting 2-8, so here's what I'm saying. If you started 1-3 and Fields is playing like shit, I think at that point you put Tyrod in.
Oh, I disagree.
Well, the thing is, we're not.
Look, you're a bigger Fields fan than I am, but I put a much longer leash on a quarterback than that.
Nah, because if we're going 1-3 and like he's consistently like losing us games and throwing too many picks, like we're not we're not developing Fields. We're seeing what we have in him, and if he shows improvement, then we'll like we'll
disagree based on what Aaron Glenn's saying. I think they're trying to develop him.
Well, yeah, I don't think that was the right phrase. Like that was my bad. I misspoke there. So I don't think not trying to develop him. I'm trying to look for what I'm saying here because I don't think that we're treating him like a rookie quarterback that he gets to go 2-8 and still be in the game. Like if it's that bad, I think we need to put Tyrod in because we're not taking this season. We're trying to be competitive. We're trying to see what we have in Aaron Glenn as a coach, and we're trying to see what we have in our young talent. We're not if Glenn is a good coach, we are not that far off from making the playoffs. All right, bro. But I'm not letting Fields ruin my season when we have Tyrod and we're trying to be competitive. Like that's what I'm trying to get across to you. Like I think yes, we are trying to develop Fields, but if he's going 2-8, it's not like a rookie quarterback where you would just like let him learn through it. At that point,
2-8, you bench him. 2-8, you bench him, and you put Brady Cook in.
No, you bench him way before it gets that. I bench him at 2-6 or 2-5.
2-5. It depends again with the circumstances.
Yeah, if he's playing like shit, then by the way, the only way we're gonna be going 2-5 is if he's playing like absolute garbage.
I disagree. The Jets started. Didn't the Jets start 2-5 or something? And Aaron Rodgers was playing fine.
That was because of the coaching. So
how do you know Aaron Glenn's not Robert Saleh?
We don't know, but see, these are all things that we're going to be able to discuss in the year when we know in real time what's happening.
Next gen post game shows are going to be so funny,
dude. I cannot wait for that. Like you guys think I'm optimistic? You're going to get to see how pessimistic.
It's going to be like a mood swing every single week.
That's what happens to me because I'm a passionate fan. Like every week, like you don't in this season. Everyone knows I was a big Rodgers advocate at this point. Obviously, that's over now. But in the season, I lost
my voice on every post game show last year. Go back and watch some of the post game shows.
Yeah.
Bro.
Go back and watch some of the pregame shows. You might be able to find me calling in. But my opinion on Rodgers changed remotely every week towards the end of the season. So yeah. It just
the Rodgers opinion never changed for me. When you can't beat a top 10 defense and you can't run, I don't want you as my quarterback, especially when you.
It's a suffering of a passionate Jeff fan. Like everything.
I would rather have Fields as my like. Literally, if you laid out the Jets' circumstances, like given the way they're building this team from the ground up with the new regime and everything, and you said 1 year minimum contract. This would obviously never happen. Whatever the league minimum is, under $1 million, same exact contract. Who do you want to start your team with? Justin Fields or Aaron Rodgers? I'm saying Justin Fields.
No, I agree with you. The thing about wanting to keep Aaron Rodgers, though, is that the the thing about wanting to keep Aaron Rodgers, though, is that there was no guarantee that we were signing Fields. Like the night before free agency started, I actually DM'd Justin Fields, and I kept on raving about how great it was. How
I was
there's
on
no
call
better,
with you.
yeah, how there's no
That
better
was
place
after
to
our first show. That was after our first ever show.
That's crazy, but how there's no better place to succeed than New York. I get into this. I DM'd I forgot his name, Randall Cobb, after week 3 in 2023. I think it was, he dropped a Hail Mary. I think it is, like, it was
You
right.
should see my DMs with Zach Wilson. I've like called him on Instagram like 28,000 times.
Oh God, Zach
I-
Wilson.
I first
had
messaged
access
him.
to-
I first messaged him after the Patriots game where he's like,
Oh, no, he didn't take accountability, yeah.
Yes, that's the game.
I was at my house home alone that game. I was like pacing around my house and shit. It was.
And
awful.
bro, that was, oh my god, that game was so bad. I mean, remember when they returned that punt or whatever? That's
Yes,
what
I
won the
do.
game. Dude, I don't know what it is. This team could just never find a way to beat the fucking Patriots.
Yeah, I mean,
No matter how bad they are, they own.
I think we beat him with Trevor Siemian week 18 in
Week
2023.
18. Come on.
In like a blizzard
Oh,
too.
yeah.
was
People
like a
were,
blizzard.
people were always saying how. Oh my God, they broke the streak. That's not freaking breaking the streak in New England. Week 18.
Listen, I see DTN. That game was windy in New England. Okay, the excuses pour in from our
Just
favorite
pull the
Patriots
comment,
fan.
Chris. You just have the admin. Just pull a comment up when you're talking about it.
I mean, we can all see it. The people, they can all see it. But I think that the past New York Jets, like the same old Jets, we're not that anymore. But they can never
This is
beat
a
the
great point. That win, Chris, actually, if the Jets lost the Commanders game and they lost the Patriots game, they would have had like a top 3 pick or something.
You
crazy.
play to win the game.
I agree. I wanted them to win out that year. But guys, we got a lot more memberships to get to. Sorry, we were getting off track there and not referencing everyone right away for the memberships. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. As always, first, we got a $5 super chat from our guy, Luppy, who says, Luppy, again, appreciate the $5. As always, my friend, says, Connor, great to meet you at the draft party. Wish I had more time to talk with you. It was crazy. Yeah, Luppy, I know we spoke a little. Great to see you. And I hope to see you at some of the events in the future for sure. And
New Jersey meetup, baby, my state, Jake Gasman.
your province, whatever. I don't even know.
All right,
like,
bro.
you're-
Like, you can argue that to Jack. You can argue Connecticut. New Jersey is a pivotal state. Most people per square mile. Don't play with New Jersey.
New Jersey is not pivotal, but at least they have more than like 3 electoral votes. Like they're actually somewhat pivotal and like when it comes to electing presidents and House of Representative members and stuff like that. It's
Stuff we both
not-
pay attention to thoroughly.
yeah, it's just New Jersey. I don't even know. It's just like swamps and stuff.
All right, bro.
It's just like look outside MetLife Stadium. That's all in New Jersey.
Jet Life
They
Stadium.
don't got anything close to
That's
New
East
York
Orange.
City.
You can't judge New Jersey on East Orange, but we got the Jersey
What's in
Shore.
What's in East Orange?
Yeah, it's a little township in New Jersey.
Township. That's another thing. I
Oh,
never
yeah.
understood what the name township.
A group of
means.
neighborhoods, I'm pretty sure.
Philippanet. That's just the town. That's
Nah.
just the town, Chris. Philippanet comes in with 10 gifted memberships. That's 10 raffle entries for you, my friend Philip. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Every $2.99 super chat or gifted membership get you a raffle entry. Shout out to our guy Philip. 10 names: Will Cedar, M123, I123, John Cameron, Gay Pride Month, the GM, Neil Rosswit, Gary King Jr., Christopher Mena, Sammy Verdante, Francesco Poracaro, Dopist, Dopin, Dopeland. You were all members. Shout out to Philippan. And guys, we're going to start cranking out more content like every day now. Chris and I were actually talking about this earlier on the Next Gen Jets official YouTube channel. So please, I'm going to throw the link in the chat here. Please go over, shoot us a sub on the Next Gen Jets YouTube channel. We're going to start pumping out daily content there. Couple videos up as of now, but trust me, we got daily content, multiple shows a day, pre-recorded coming up. So pop over there, shoot us a sub. Appreciate you guys as always. Where we had is that you, Christopher?
Yep, I've shown the link for everybody to see.
We have something in the okay, here it is. We got we'll start off with our first question in the chat from OG Jets fan, our guy Tommy, who says, where and who is our wide receiver too? You can't play in the NFL if our number one is double teamed and we have no second option. Chris, I'm gonna do this for like the third time in the past 3 weeks. I gotta go get water. Let's go, Chris. Answer this question. You gotta talk and I have access to the chat, so just start pulling things up if your answer's too quickly. I'll be back in like 30.
All right, perfect. I got you. So, where and who is our wide receiver two? Our wide receiver two is probably on the team right now. Unfortunately, it's looking like we're going to have to roll into the season with Alan Lazard or Josh Reynolds. I'm not comfortable with that at all. We have obviously drafted Arian Smith, but he's not a guy who's able to come in immediately. He obviously, has some issues. We know he's a speed demon. I think that pick was mainly Glenn seeing something in him, seeing his speed and seeing how he can be like a crucial part of the offense, a playmaker like Jameson Williams is to the Lions, but he's not reaching that this year. It's going to take some time for him in my eyes. So I think it's either, I hope we sign somebody like Amari Cooper in free agency. I don't think he got picked up yet. So that would be my ideal option, signing him. But as of now, Josh Reynolds and Alan Lazard, that's probably what we're picking from, unfortunately, as Connor walks back into his humble abode, his humble room.
Say Josh Reynolds.
Josh Reynolds, Alan Lazard, that's unfortunately what it's looking like right now.
Shoot.
I want them to sign Amari Cooper. I said this to you. I want them to sign Amari Cooper.
I want them to sign Keenan Allen.
Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Akuna Matata, potato, whatever. But yeah, either one of those two. That's what I'm thinking.
Keenan Allen's just more productive and would come at a cheaper rate.
Yeah.
Says Tommy comes back and says, what's taking long to sign though? Because the compensatory pick formula was still going on until post-draft. I think that played a big role.
For sure. And that just ended like a couple of days ago.
King Jamie says Keenan Allen's cheap for a reason. Everyone's cheap for a reason. If you're available post-draft, you're most likely not a top 10 player at your positional group.
Old, injury prone. Like,
are you talking about Amari Cooper?
What?
Talking about Amari Cooper, right?
No, I'm saying reasons why people are still available at this time. Old, injured.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Rodgers.
Not the handshake deal with the Steelers. He's focusing on personal issues right now. I don't know. No one knows what's behind the scenes with him except him. So that's
I
what
think
he's.
The ayahuasca was getting to him on the Pat McAfee show. I don't think he was coherent.
He actually said he has not done ayahuasca this offseason.
Yeah, that's the biggest lie I've ever heard.
How do you?
And I'm 20 feet tall.
Do you know I'm on a personal level? Excuse me.
I do not know I'm on a personal leather. No, I do not. I do not know Aaron Rodgers on a personal leather, Chris.
All right. Personal black magic retreats.
Connor, when you call Chris Christopher, it is a slappable offense. Thoughts?
It's my full name, my name given to me at birth. I'm not sure about slappable.
You take pride in that, right?
Oh yeah, Christopher, baby, Christ, Jesus is in my name.
NJ smells like wet feet.
And New York
can be sketchy.
Yeah, New York can also be sketchy. Like New York and New Jersey go hand in hand. New Jersey should honestly just annex New York at this point.
You mean other way around, right?
Nah.
You're funny. Slap him, Connor. Maybe when I see you in a week from today.
Patriot fan Paul Costa.
Appreciate you guys. Smash the like, hit subscribe, keep the super chats and memberships coming. They go a long way. Keep the questions coming. We'll get to those calling to the show with the pin comment at the top of the chat. Let's talk Jordan Travis for a little. You think this affects the Jet plans at all?
No. I mean, Jordan Travis, a guy from Florida State, didn't really know what he was going to be coming out. We obviously know with that gruesome leg injury, we didn't have any expectations for him. And we obviously picked up Brady Cook and undrafted free agency. We have Adrian Martinez rotting on our roster, a guy with potential, a guy who we don't know what he is, obviously another low undrafted free agent. But we have guys, so I don't really think the loss of Jordan Travis matters that much, except it's really sucks for him, and prayers to him and his family.
Definitely. I've always said all along, this doesn't affect my thought process with this team at all. I've said all along that you go in with Travis expecting absolutely nothing, and every single snap, if you think about it, you get out of him is a complete bonus. That's my whole thought process. That was my whole thought process with Travis. I think you got a better developmental option though, in my opinion, with Cook.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I was never high on Jordan Travis. His leadership, leading his team to a 13 or whatever it was undefeated season with Florida State, I think. I actually don't know where I stand on if they should have made the playoffs or not. Like I get what
They should have.
I get what they're saying with leaving them out, because like a key role in that was obviously Jordan Travis, and then he gets hurt. Like it decreases the value of the team after your starting quarterback who led you the entire season has a season-ending injury.
I can't believe I'm saying this on May 3rd, 2025, but let's talk some 2026 draft.
Oh
Todd
yeah,
McShay-
baby! I cannot wait for this draft class. I cannot wait.
Todd McShay from The Ringer, way too early mock draft, has been
Oh
released.
God! I know where this is going.
Has the Jets the number 1 overall pick? And he has
Not
taken
only-
Garrett
not only-
Nussmeier from LSU.
Well, I mean, I like the pick, but I think it's crazy having the Jets picking first overall. I think that like if we're picking first overall, I hope we better have traded up to that spot. I don't think we're finishing with a record enough to earn that, or else. Glenn, what are we doing? What is Glenn if we're
Well,
finishing with the first overall pick? Let's be
Glenn
real
is
now.
fired.
Glenn is fired.
That's what he is. Yes,
Do you actually?
he's a jobless man.
Are you actually saying that? Because that's actually what I think.
Yes. If they win 2 games,
If they win 3 games, I want Glenn fired. They're not going to do it, but that's what I would want.
I think the ceiling for this team is
11-6,
10.
10-11, 10-11.
10. The floor is like 3.
I would say the floor has to be 5-12, because if Fields
Oh, I
sucks,
disagree.
not because if Fields sucks and then you put in Tyrod, he's at least reliable. Like he's at least gonna win you a couple of games before he gets hurt. So
I think it's 3. Like I think
floor
there
is
could be
5.
so much damage done.
We have too much.
I think I
talent.
have them going 7-10, 8-9 in that range. There's
I'll
a big
think
difference. There's a big difference though between going 7-10 and 8-9, in my opinion. Like a big difference.
I think there's a big difference between going 8-9 and 9-8, because 9-8 could land you in a playoff berth. The optimistic side of me wants to say 9-8, but I think we're in that 8-9 range right now. If Fields really blooms, we can be pretty good though.
2025 opponents, because the schedule is coming out in like 11 days.
You know me. I love my primetime games. I love my night games at Jet Life Stadium.
that's
Diversity in the atmosphere, baby.
That's never
I
gonna
mean,
happen. That's never gonna happen.
Well,
this
no,
year.
you realize every team has to have at least one primetime
That's
game,
not
right?
true at all.
Yes, it is.
The Jets didn't have a primetime game in all of 2021
Yeah, that was before they put in the rule.
when they put in the rule. I might be wrong here because I don't study primetime statistics.
Everyone who knows me knows I love primetime games. I love everything about it. It's the night Jet Life atmospheres. Unbeatable in my eyes.
No, not every primetime game. Not every NFL team is guaranteed a primetime game.
Well, the only team who didn't have one last year is I'm pretty sure the Panthers, who
The Jets could be worse than that.
they're borderline getting regulated. The Panthers. The Jets play the
Oh.
Colts 2021 in primetime. Jack, of course you know this, bro. Of course you know this. He knows everything
those who
about like
don't
the
know,
old Jets.
Jack knows everything about like the 2-win teams in 2020 and stuff. All right, let's look at the opponents. I don't even care about the schedule, honestly, as long as the opponents are out. You can make like a
Well, I mean,
viable...
well, to be honest, the schedule it tells you how you're gonna have a hard stretch, an easy stretch.
Yeah, no, I know, but as long as you know the opponents, like
I mean, but if you have a hard stretch at the beginning of the year, that's actually good because you get all the way first, and it's easy sledding after in the year. Because if you have like a hard stretch of opponents late in the season when you're already like battered and your team is hurt, that can be really rough on you. That could be the difference between making and missing the playoffs.
I think so. This is what's gonna happen. Let's do this exercise, if you will, together, Chris. I'll give mine first. I think they split with every team in the
Here,
division.
Can we show the schedule up there?
You don't see it?
Nah.
It's
Like,
on the screen.
On the big screen.
Look on this. Yeah, look on the StreamYard stage.
Wait, hold on. I'm not seeing it.
Back out.
I'll be back.
All right, yeah. Chris is battling some Wi-Fi issues, as you can see. We're looking at the Jets 2025 schedule here, and we're gonna break down. And where did that go? We're gonna be breaking down our predictions. Where I start is I think they're gonna split with every team in the division. For the sake of this exercise, I'll say that they win the home game for every team in the division. That's what I'll say. So I think you come away with a win against Buffalo. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I see now.
All right, so I think they come away with a win against Buffalo at home, a win against Miami at home, a win against New England at home. 3-0 now. Cleveland 4-0. Pittsburgh 4-1. Atlanta, I'll give it to them 5-1. Panthers 6-1. Broncos 6-2. Cowboys 7-2. Away, Bills 7-3. Miami 7-4. New England 7-5. Ravens 7-6. Cincinnati 7-7. New Orleans 8-7. Tampa Bay 8-8. Yeah, Jacksonville 9-8. So like 8-9, 9-8, I think is a really fair prediction.
100%. I'm in that same range, but yeah, because you basically had every game going the way it's supposed to go in that scenario. Like in the NFL, there's upsets. So
Oh yeah, that's I hate schedule predictions at all. Like, I hate schedule predictions.
The thing is, I've never predicted the Jets schedule right because I always my Gotham green glasses.
Yeah. Oh, we know, but I'm saying like chalk wise.
Yeah,
there are always going to be upsets. Like, who knows? The Jets could finish 9-8, but per my prediction, maybe they lose against Cleveland at home and win against Baltimore on the road. It's just hard to predict.
For sure, I'm in that same boat as you. I mean, there's not really point me going through it because I agree with you on that one.
100%. Appreciate you tuning in. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Throw your questions for us in the chat. Call into the show with the pinned comment. We appreciate your support. As always, let's go over to the phone lines. Our guy Luppy is first up here on the show. Luppy, what's going on, my man? Oh, we don't have you, Luppy. You're muted. We heard a little tackle, but we still don't got you. We hear like background noise, but we don't hear you. Sounds good. We'll give you we'll drop you off for a second. Luppy will be removing his headset, then we'll go back to him.
I remember when I used to have the gaming headset.
We all know when you used to have the gaming headset. Let's see if we got him. Luppy, you there? We still don't got you. Try just looking up to your computer mic. I'm sure the audio quality will be all right.
Yeah.
Got you. I will drop. Oh. All right.
Yeah, now
you got me.
Yeah,
we got you loud and clear.
All right, you guys are a little optimistic, right? So I like that. That's great, but you got to see.
I'm not optimistic compared to Chris. Let's get that.
You got to see who we're going against, though. We're going against. Going to be a ground and pound team, so you got to look about what kind of defense can we play against. So you like Miami Dolphins? Okay, we can probably beat them in the run, but all the other like Ravens, they're going to be strong against the run.
They're going to stomp us too with their run game and our weak D line.
Correct. Exactly. So when you're making your predictions, you got to see who we are against who they are. So I think you're a little bit more over of what we should be doing. I see a 5-win unless they surprise us. So I see a 5-win team right now, and a developing team, and I think that there's nothing wrong with that. I think that Aaron Glenn is a culture first kind of guy, as you can see it, no nonsense, and I definitely see. When they lose to us, they will know they played us. That's all I see.
I agree that the best way to build culture though is by winning. And I think like why I get that the sense that we're going 5-12. Like I get the realist perspective that we're going 5-12. But if Glenn is a good coach, like we should be winning a bunch of games.
Right. No, I know, but a lot of those teams are good against the run. And that's what we have to do. We're not going to be good against the run unless we don't know who we are right now. We don't know who they are right now. But I think down the road, I think we'll be a better team as we develop.
When it comes to this, is the problem. The Jets are a one-dimensional offense right now. They have no other option. You run the ball or you don't. Who are you passing to? All right, teams. This is why I think this is going to be the first year in my. It's tough for me to say whether Garrett, I think, will clear 1,000 yards. Part of me says it will happen because he's the only option, but the other part is they're not going to throw the ball at all. That's the
I don't think they
problem.
won't. I don't think they'll throw that that little that Garrett won't eclipse
Oh,
a
I
thousand.
think it's gonna be like 20 passes a game, and I
Mm,
think
uh,
7 of those will be quick passes. Like,
the thing is
We
opening up
picked up
your.
we picked up that speed to blow the top off the offense.
Arian Smith.
If that guy can catch a couple balls early, it's going to change everything. If he can't, they're going to be.
And by the way, also, I think people hate on Corley too much in this fan base. I think that he can become like really a guy who throws from the screen and gets like 20 yards after the catch, like he was supposed to. But I think that our strong run game will open up play action, which is where Justin Fields can thrive, hitting over the middle after like play action over the middle passes to Garrett. Like
that's a hope. That's a hope that he'll be good. And we all have hope.
I mean. Yeah, but the play running factually opens play action. Like having such a strong run game, like we hopefully will with all the first round picks at O-line we have and our talent in the running back room.
We will run the ball, that's for sure. Can we stop it? That's the question.
Luppy, appreciate the call. You got any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think that if Aaron Glenn is who we think he is, I think we're going to have a really well coached season for a change, and that's really what I want to see. I want to see guys overachieving, and I want to see us moving forward and having a vision of who we are and an identity, and that would be great.
Ladies and gentlemen, our friend Luppy checking in here on the show. Appreciate Luppy's call. Appreciate his support as always here on the program. And I agree. You want to see guys overachieving. You want your first round. This sounds crazy because of what the Jets have had, but again, compare it to teams that have success in the league. You want your first round picks to play like all pros. You want your day 2 picks to come in and play like high end first rounders. And you want your day 3 picks to come in and be quality starters. That's the blueprint for success, Chris.
Amen. If they're a good regime, they'll turn late round picks into quality players who are difference makers. So that's what we can all hope. That's what we're all hoping for. No matter how pessimistic or optimistic you are, that this regime just comes in and nails everything.
Get your final questions, comments, super chats, gifted memberships, thoughts in. We're going to wrap it up. Next time we see you, it is not going to be at 9:30 p.m. It will be on a Saturday, but Chris and I will be doing the show. Chris, I will kind of be sitting here. Chris will be sitting here right next to me.
Let's go.
And we will have an in-person show, and then Chris, Jack, and I are all heading to the Mets game on Saturday night. So if you're going to the Mets game next Saturday, 7:15 against the Cubs, say what's up. Let me let you know where we're sitting if you're going. We are.
The Hamburger is a guy who frequents Met games, so we might be able to
here it is.
catch him.
These are our tickets. We're in section 129, row 12.
Whoa! Don't flash those. Someone could screenshot it and steal it.
No, you can't. You got to hold it up to the reader. It's on Apple Wallet.
Oh, gotcha.
It's not a barcode. We got the advanced technology, Chris.
Oh.
So yeah, we got an in-person show next week. We'll be going to the Mets game, so appreciate the memberships, Chris. That'll cover the train tickets and the concessions at Citi Field.
Beautiful. Jackpot Jets, baby.
We appreciate you guys as always, though. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Chris, again, can't wait. I know we were talking earlier. Can't wait to see you next week. Sitting right here in the Connor Long, in the ostentatious studios of the Long residence, where you will be joining us for an in-person episode. So, Chris, really looking forward to that. Appreciate you as always. You got any final thoughts?
Yeah, I obviously cannot wait to visit your humble abode, meet Mr. and Mrs. Long again. I met Mr. Long at the draft party, so I can say hi to Mr. and Mrs. Long and get a round of golf in. Get to be with Jack and you in person, do the show, watch the Mets dominate the Cubs. I'm pretty sure. I don't even follow baseball, but we have some great seats. I'm pretty sure we have.
Yeah, we got solid seats, and it's a good game. It's a really, really solid game, which is why the tickets are so expensive, because the Mets are the best team in baseball right now, and the Cubs are in like second place as the second best team in all of baseball. So it'll be a good back and forth against the. After thinking about it, Chris, what are we teeing off at like 11:10? I think I put it in when we're playing golf. We might have to call into Jake's show on the links
on the course
live in person.
Oh, yeah, because if it's like crowded and we're waiting behind someone, we can definitely call in between, and I can get a lot of views.
Chris, this course is always like there's always nowhere to go.
Oh, you get to call in from Jake's show. That'd be fire. For
sure. But we appreciate you guys as always. Smash the like, hit subscribe. That'll do it for us here on this Saturday evening edition of Next Gen Jets. He's Chris Gross. I'm your host, Connor Long. Have a good night, everyone. And as always,
Whoa,
J-E-T-S,
Jets,
Jets,
Jets.
Jets. Peace out, everyone. Have a great night, and we will see you next time tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time for the OG Next Gen Jets show. Peace out, everyone, and have a great night. Go Jets.